Good morning, this is Dave Lockwood with Remove It Pros Demolition, and this is a continuation of our journey into our second location. And here's my update on that. Well, a couple things are going on right now. This Hurricane Debbie, which eventually became a hurricane, it was a tropical storm down here, came through, and I live on a barrier island and Fort Myers Beach. You know, one of the things that Daryl Ives tells you to do is to stay on topic when you're doing your channel, your YouTube channel. Make sure that you don't get off on tangents. And I had to make a decision whether I was going to make this storm a bucket of ours. And I had done some community service kind of things that kind of interrelates to what we do, because, you know, everything we do, we have logos everywhere. So I decided to go ahead and do it. And what we did is we drove and went out in the storm and actually did videos on it, and you know, it did pretty well. I'm not so sure that those are going to be the long-term customers of mine for what we're trying to sell, but it definitely adds to our base of subscribers. The combination of Florida, Fort Myers Beach, and our demolition company. And I don't know if I did the wrong thing or not, but I think I did the right thing. So anyway, over 4 or 5 videos, you know, there's been, you know, 80,000-90,000 views. So the things that I think about, one is, you know, how can our channel do better? I think it's doing decent. I don't know that it's doing as good as it could. I know it would help if I was a beautiful girl with big boobs, you know, but you know, that's not going to happen. So, and then, you know, we've been at this coming up, let's see, in October will be a year that we actually started. We started training through Channel Jumpstart with Daryl Ives in, I think, August. So, but he discouraged you from getting started until you had until you understood more about it. So I've got a lot of different things going on all at the same time, and it's a lot. And then I help run Remove It Pros, although I'm not in the primary functions of Remove It Pros daily. You know, I'm writing a book on junk removal. I'm writing a book on demolition. The book on junk removal is pretty much done. We're just going through the editing part of it. The demolition book, we're working on it, and we're just really getting started with that. And there's a lot that goes in with that. And then promoting a book, that's a whole another thing that you need to do in order to do or become the expert, and to be able to add the impact that you want to add. You have to prove your credibility, and having a book or 2 books or whatever is a big part of that. I'm also writing a 3rd book. The second book is written, it's just not organized yet. The 3rd book, I'm writing it. I'm going through and writing it. So when I get time, I get up early in the mornings, really early. It's been at it for about an hour. I don't know what time it is. An hour and a half, hour and 5 minutes. And the reason I do that is because I don't have interruptions. Once the day gets rolling, I have a lot of interruptions. I have a lot of interactions that I have to do. And, you know, I've got Talon and Logan that are fully capable of running Remove It Pros. But, you know, there's a lot of things that they turn around and say, hey, what should we do here? Because of, you know, I've got a lot of experience running things for years and years and years. So let's talk about Sarasota. So we're reluctant to go ahead and get a location up there yet. As far as a physical location, we're basically going to work from some temporary space for a while. The reason is we want to buy something in a strategic location so that we are the mistake we made here is we got everything we needed, except for we're not as close to the dump as we would like to be. We're in just the right position in a market that's next to our primary market, and our primary market's a very expensive market to be in as far as to own or to rent. So that worked out great for us here. Now up there, I'm looking at some stuff. I've been talking to a lady. I found her on Craigslist, and what we like to do is work owner finance deals with people so we don't have to put crazy amounts of money down. And and I got this lady to the point where we probably could do that. Unfortunately, I don't know whether or not the zoning will allow us to be where she's at. It stands to reason that they would, because she's surrounded by commercial stuff, but she has a one residential house on one side of her. So I'm gonna look into that today. So I'm talking to Talon, and I'm doing a bunch of advertising. So we really have never had to rely on Facebook Marketplace, or Facebook rather, as far as advertising, and we've really never had to rely on Google Ads. The majority of a business when we first started, believe it or not, was just Craigslist. The problem with Craigslist, though, is that you're getting the people who are trying to save, who are trying to penny pinch. Well, we're not the penny pinch company. We're the company you want. You end up penny pinching by using us, because we come in and we get everything done really quick. We give you a better price because we're getting repurposed stuff, and we're effective. We show up. We've thought this through. We show up with all the tools. We stay on the job till we're done. The guys don't take off for lunch, which typically you lose a lot of productivity. We have eat lunch on the site. And a lot of the things that we've learned, we don't put up with slackers. We're not going to have three guys that are sitting there all day long just milking the clock. We're getting stuff done all day long, and we built quite a culture around that. So Sarasota, the struggle I have right now is I am a beginner or novice at the advertising for Facebook Market. I keep saying Facebook Marketplace. We sell a lot of stuff with Facebook Marketplace with our reusable, repurposing stuff. So what I'm going to do, I may have told you this story before, but there was a job we did in an area called Tiburon. It's a very high-end neighborhood here, and it shocks me to see the location, because the location is right up against the highway, and I can't hear the highway noise, so it must be behind one of those walls. But the guy that owns Hertz, or the CEO of Hertz, and this is I'm only repeating what was told to me. He lived at the corner of this street, and we were doing this job for a guy who was flipping a house, and it blew my mind because it was like a $5 million house he was flipping. We used to buy and flip houses a lot up in Cincinnati way back in the 90s and the beginning of the 2000s, and $5 million flip is just beyond my reality filter. So I'm driving up the street every day. I'm physically helping out. I'm in the field with the guys and working alongside of them at this point, and I'm seeing this guy's Rolls Royce, and it says top SEO. Well, top search engine optimization. So that always stuck in my mind. Why would the guy that runs a big company like that, why would that be on his plate? Well, I know why. Because advertising, there's a lot of keys to your business, but advertising, if you don't have any business, you sure can't do it. So the advertising is the key to the whole thing. So that's what I'm dealing with. I'm learning. I'm back up. I went through the video that we're doing for this week. This is kind of a cool video. We videoed the news company, the local news, Wink News, videoing us and going through a building with us. Now, they used like not even 30 seconds of our hour-long meeting with them, but we're going to use a lot more of that for our own video. I think they'll like it. It's kind of fun. So the moral of the story is, you got to get better, got to understand it. I understand it. It's working. We've really only got one call. And I've been doing this for about 2 weeks as far as focusing on Sarasota. We're also in, if we weren't so dominant here in this marketplace, I think that most people, because we're very fiercely priced because of our repurposing, most people will use us if they can get us here. But the word of mouth is strong here. We've been here and we have a strong presence. If you drive around this little tiny area in a day, you'll see 3 or 4 of my trucks. You might see 10 of my trucks. Right now we're running 20 something trucks a day on the road. We're running, I think, 23 crews. We may be, this time of year, what happens is we're coming out of our busy season. And then the normal attrition, people not showing up or people quitting or moving away or whatever it is for the labor force happens. So we're shrinking down. So we're probably, I haven't asked Talon lately, we're probably at 18 crews. And then we got 2 crews that are out that are doing machine-driven demolition every day. So what we're doing here is just basically taking you on our journey, going into this next marketplace. And, I was talking to one of the younger guys yesterday, and I was telling him he had left his wallet at home. And he said, Dave, how many times do you leave your wallet at home? And I said, well, I don't. He looked at me and I said, well, here's what happens. If you want to become successful, if you want to have great success in your life, you need to create little systems. And I said, what I do with my wallet is I put my wallet, my knife, and if you're in my business, you need a knife all the time. Not really for safety, but I can't use it for that. My belt, my shoes, I put them all in one spot. And I put them all in that one spot. And then anything that I need to take with me for the day, as I think about the day, I'm like, okay, we're going to be filming tomorrow. Well, I'll take my Osmo 3 and I'll put it with that stuff because I won't want to forget it. If I need to deliver something to somebody, I put it with that. Now you say, oh, well, that's silly. Okay, well, it is silly. But guess what? What if you drove an hour to someplace and you needed to pull your credit card out and you left it on your nightstand? Or you left it somewhere in the house and you don't remember where you left it. So now, how effective are you going to be? How many times a month does that happen? How many times a year does it happen? How does it affect what you get done in a day? So these little things that we do, they mean a lot. So Remove It Pros has all kinds of those little tiny things that we do. For example, if we don't make sure that the water's turned off and that people know not to turn the water back on, well, we have a lot of problems because of that. And the problems are typically their fault. But a lot of times we get involved with it because people know the insurance game. But most of the time now, we're like, look, here's your valve. Here's our tag that tells you not to turn it on. I don't want to hear about it. And typically that shuts it down. So what does that do for you? Well, it saves you time, saves you effort, saves you aggravation. And typically you're not getting involved, and it saves you insurance money. So all these little things that we do, well, they mean a lot. And that's what these books are all about. It's all about, I could tell you what I do. There was a company, we talk about it on this, that emulated, or they spun off from us, and they thought they were just going to come in and dominate like we are. Well, guess what? They didn't apply the little things. They may have known them, but they didn't apply them. They let the guys work 40 hours. If they wanted to work Saturdays, they could work Saturdays. There's a bunch of things that they did that just took the juice out of this, took the special sauce away. So at any rate, that's it. But what we're doing right now is we're learning. We're advertising like crazy. I think I'm going to get some Coroplast signs made up and take them up north. Probably going to get some fines from that, but I think it'll help us get a boost. And we're just going to go at this like it's the end of the world. The other thing is we're if you watch the news about real estate, we're in a declining market. So the amount of rehabs and stuff that are going on, it's going to be less. But we're in the luxury market. The luxury markets typically, they will experience a downturn. But you know, if you got $100 million and you bought a house for $2 million and you're going to do $1 million renovation, you're just going to do it, and you're not getting a loan. So that's typically what I want to say typically, that's 90% or 80% of what we do. So it's Remove It Pros Demolition, and this video is got to become an expert in advertising on Facebook and Google Ads. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump on a YouTube video again and learn the same thing again so that it sticks better. It's a lot. So, but anyway, Remove It Pros Demolition. We'll see you on the next video.